Legacy systems. What are legacy systems? Legacy systems are older systems that rely on languages and technology that are no longer used for new system development. Legacy software may be dependent on older hardware, legacy process, and procedures. Legacy systems are not just software systems but are broader socio technical systems that include hardware, software, libraries, and other supporting software and business process. In short, we can say that the older process, the older procedures which are used, no more in use, or using that old process, old technology, old software which support old business process is no more yield advantages. So this is the concept of legacy systems. The elements of legacy systems. This is the generic block diagram. We have application software. Application is installed, application software installed, and application software runs on the system hardware. But for application software, we need a support system, a software support software, drivers, in short, drivers. So application software indirectly use the support system to be run on that system hardware. And from where this application software comes, or from where it gets the input. So it gets the input from the business process. Business process contains the constraints that come from the business policies and rules. It's a very easy logic. Whenever we use some application, there is some goal behind it, and that goal actually come from the business needs or requirements, or business policies and rules are also there. So based on the business rules, policies, need, goal originates, and we develop application software. So this means based on the business process, we must have to use then or operate the business the application software laterally after the implementation, and that application software use application data, and this application data are for the business process. This support the business process, or we can say the from business process this application data comes. So this is the block diagram of legacy system. Legacy system components. Legacy system components contains the following: system hardware. Legacy system may have been written for the hardware that is no longer available. Support software, maybe there is a problem with the hardware change over time, or we can say that the legacy systems are those that are not supported by the latest system hardwares. The support software like OS, modern OS does not support, sometimes it does not support the legacy softwares. So the legacy system may rely on the range of support software which may be obsolete or unsupported now. Application software system that provides the business service is usually made up of number of application programs, and here is a possibility that business process change. So if the business process change, this means the new business process is not supported by the application software. The application data, there are data that are processed by the application. So there may be inconsistency occurs, duplication occurs, or the data held in the different databases. Or in simple words, we can say that the databases are older or does not supported by the existing supported software, hardware, or servers or technology. So this means data is here, but the data kept by different databases is useless. Business process, as I stated, these are the processes that are used in the business to achieve some business objective. So this means for achieving that objective, we must have to understand and follow the business process. Business process may be designed around a legacy system and constrained by functionality that it provides. Remember that there are two normal approaches when we develop any enterprise software. Sometimes we design a software based on the existing process, or sometimes we adopt the business or adopt or modify or change our business policies accordingly to the available software in the market. So if business process may be designed around a legacy system and that is no more further supported by that organization want to change that existing process, so this means that system become a legacy and no more it provides advantage. Business policies, rules are the definitions of how the business should be carried out and constraints on the business. So policies and rules are actually the business constraints. So use of the legacy application system may be embedded in these policies and rules. So here you must understood now that legacy system does not only mean that the tool is not now the tool is the tool in which software is developed is no more in use or not followed by the companies, so that's called legacy. No, it is independent of the development tool, it is independent of the coding style, coding approach. It depends on the business policies, business rules, how it is supported by the existing system, the technology, the hardware, the supported system, and the user data and database. So legacy system layers, these are the four basic layers. First layer is the business process, which is designed for particular objective. Application software and platform and infrastructure and supported software, and then hardware. So all our operating system and necessary drivers come here, and then on the up level, high level, there is application software. Legacy system replacement, this means we have to replace the legacy system, we have to upgrade the legacy system. Legacy system replacement is risky, not easy, and expensive also. So business continue to use this system. So difficult for business stakeholders to continue these systems as there are a lot of risks associated with the legacy system. System replacement is risky for a number of reasons. The first is lack of complete system specification. Sometimes the system is developed by the company, we don't know the exact the documents, and it is, remember that it is not necessary that someone or some organization who develop the software will also maintain that software in a long period of time. Might be someone develop their software is no more in this world, or that is transferred to some other areas, and we want to modify it with some new organizations. So how we can understand the specification document. We don't know. Tight integration of system and business process, and not only system with the process but system with hardware, system components and subcomponents and subsystems are also linked. So analyzing their legacy system become difficult. Undocumented business rules embedded in the legacy system. New software development may be late or over budget. Legacy system change. Legacy systems are expensive to change for a number of reasons. First reason is no consistent programming style. Programming style depends on the developer. Every developer have their own style of writing a code. So there is no consistent programming style, no standard is followed. Use of obsolete programming language with a few people available with these language skills. Inadequate system documentation means documentation system is either lacking or not proper. System structure degradation. Program optimization may make them hard to understand. Data errors, duplication, inconsistencies. So understanding the data logic, the database, the entities relations, understanding the entities relations, and the constraints on the data. How many constraints are imposed on the data in the table, how tables are linked, how tables were created, how the schema are created. So that is also difficult to understand. Legacy system management. Now, how to manage the legacy systems? Organizations that rely on legacy system must choose a strategy for evolving these systems. Scrap the system completely and modify business process so it is no longer required. Continue maintaining the system. So these are different approaches and strategies. We can scrap the whole system completely and then modify business, so we can then develop a software from the scratch, or we can continue the maintenance process, maintaining that existing system. Transform the system by re-engineering to improve its maintainability. So re-engineering, what we do in re-engineering, we redesign the whole system and then modify accordingly. Replace the system completely with the new system. The strategy chosen should depend on the system quality and its business value. So it is not easy to decide which option should be. We should go on which option. It's not easy to decide. So this is the example, and this figure is explained here. We have 4 options. The first is low business value, low quality. Low quality, low business value. This means the software has a low quality and our business value is also low. So this means this system should be completely scrapped, because business value is no more and system is also of no quality. System have low quality. The second option is the system is low quality. The legacy system is low quality, but it has a high business value, or we can say the business which use the legacy system is worthy of high value, and they need to demand a change, but it is of low quality. So what we do? These make an important business contribution but are expensive to maintain. Should be re-engineering or replaced if suitable system is available. If there is some alternative software available in market on low cost, because modification or re-engineering of legacy system is not easy. It also takes time and can be costly. So if there is alternative system available, so we should adopt that. But the best option is if we go with that same system, because system replacement is also not easy, because we have a huge data. So exporting that data and then import that data into the new software is quite difficult. So re-engineering is a option for us. The third category is the high quality software but low business value. So replace that system with the COTS. So COTS, in COTS we include the third party. So we purchase the software or some of the modules from the third party. So the system is of high quality but it yields a low business value. So by integrating it with the COTS, we can produce high business value. Scrap completely or maintain. High quality, high business value. So this means if the legacy system is of still high quality and high business value, so this means we should continue with normal operations. Business value assessment. Now, how to assess the business value associated with the particular legacy system? Assessment should take different viewpoints into account. This include the system end users, which means the users of the systems, whoever use this system. Business customers. Remember that there is a difference between system users and customer. Customer can be user or cannot be. So customer is actually the client who purchase, who orders or who need software for their organization. But end users are those who use the software. Line managers, IT managers, senior managers, etc. So we need to interview different stakeholders and collect the results. So based on the results, we then analyze our legacy systems. Issues in business value assessment. So there are a few issues. The use of the system. If the system are only used occasionally or by small number of people, they may have a low business value. The business process that are supported, a system may have a low business value if it forces the use of inefficient business process. System dependability. If system is not dependable and the problem directly affect the business customer, the system has a low business value. And the system outputs. If the business depends on the system outputs, then the system has a high business value. Now, system quality assessment. How we should assess the quality of the system. So from business process perspective, if we assess the business process, so we should, the following question is arised and we should answer this. How well does the business process support the current goals of the business? This means that either the business process is well executed or not. So this means if the business process for which we have developed the software support the goals or not. If it support the goal, this means business process is of high quality. System may be low quality or high quality, but business process can be assessed like this. Environment assessment. How effective is the system environment and how expensive is to maintain it? We should also remember that the environment in which the software is operated is also important. The people who use, are the people familiar with the process or not? Are people familiar with the technology through which the system is uses or not? And at the end, application assessment. How we can assess or evaluate the quality of application. So we need to answer the question, what is the quality of application software? Either the system contain the functionalities, the functional requirements and non-functional requirements both, to support that business requirements, business process or not. So this means if the system is of high quality, this means that the system requirements, both functional and non-functional requirements, are enough to support the business process. Business process assessment. Use a viewpoint oriented approach and seek answers from the system stakeholders. Including system stakeholders are important. Is there a defined process model that is followed, or we have randomly designed a process for something? Do different parts of organization use different process for the same function? How has the process been adopted? What was the approach behind that process? So for me, for a person like me, if I am the owner of organization and I am expert of software also, so the simple thing I will do that is to use some standard process model, business process models, or include the experts of the domain. So that can be easier than laterally. So if the legacy system is no more work, so we can then easily replace and can buy some new standard system that will easily support our standard business process. So and another question, serious question, is what are the relationships with other business process and are these necessary? Is the process effectively supported by the legacy application? So this is alternately the main question. So example is a travel ordering system may have a low business value because of the widespread use of web-based ordering. So this is the example. Factor used in environmental assessment. Suppliers, these are the four factors. Supplier stability. Is the supplier still in existence? If he is working still or not? If the supplier financially stable and likely to continue in existence? If the supplier is no longer in business, does someone else maintain the system or not? So this is important questions. Failure rate. Does the hardware have high rate of reported failure? Does the support software crash and force the system restarts? So this means the question is about the reliability of the hardware systems. Alternately, system run on the hardwares, and hardware comes in the environment. Age. How old is the hardware and software? The older the hardware and software, the more obsolete it will be. It may still function correctly, but there could be significant economic and business benefits to moving to a more modern system. Performance issues. Is the performance of the system adequate? Do the performance problem have significant effect on the system users? Support requirements. What local support is required by the hardware and software? If there are high costs associated with the support, it may be worth considering the system replacement. Sometimes with what happens with legacy system is that maintaining that system, giving support to that system is expensive, so that becomes a problem. Maintenance cost, obviously, support requirement, maintenance cost, and then interoperability. So are their problem interfaces the system to other systems? This means how compatible it is to operate in association with other system. Can compilers, for example, be used with the current versions of the operating system? And alternately, the application software which are for the business process, which are designed for developed for the business process, run on the supported system like operating system, and modern operating system sometimes does not support the legacy system, so that become a serious issue. Factor used in application assessment. How application can be evaluated and what factors are to be considered. Understandability. How difficult is it to understand the source code of the current system? So the existing legacy system can only be improved, enhanced if we understand the code, because alternately the change should be brought through the code. So how complex are the control structures that are used? Do variables have meaningful names that reflect their functions? Documentation. What system documentation is available? Is the documentation available? If available, it is complete, consistent, current, and meet the current and shows the current feature goals or not? Data. Is there an explicit data model for the system? To what extent is the data duplicated across the files? Is the data used by the system up to date and consistent or not? And finally, the performance. Is the performance of the application adequate? Do performance problems have significant effect on the system users? Programming language. Are the modern compilers available for programming language used to develop the system? Is the programming language still used for a new system development? So, and in market, new day by day new programming languages comes. So understanding the programming language, because we can only change the software if we understand the code and the development tool. Configuration management. All version of all parts of the system managed by a configuration management system. Is there an explicit description of the versions of the component that are used in the current systems or not? Test data. Does the test data for the system exist? Is there a record of the regression test carried out when new features have been added to the system? Remember, in our last lecture it is discussed in quite detail that regression tests are important. What is regression test? For example, if we have two module A and B, or two components, component A and B, we bring some changes in component A, and so these components are linked, and successfully the modifications are done, and we test the module A, component A, and we declare it is okay. So we need to test component B also. Why? Because bringing modification in component A can impact the component B. So this is called regression test. Personal skills. Are there people available who have the skills to maintain the application? So this is important, because alternately the people, from people means analysts, developers, etc., designers. Are there skillful people still available to understand and then carry out the required changes or not? Are there people available who have experience with the existing system? System measurement. You may collect quantitative data, means the data which is measurable, to make an assessment of the quality of application. So this is important questions. The number of system change requests, the number of different user interface used by the system, the volume of data used by the system, and cleaning up old data is very expensive and time consuming process. So that was all about the legacy system. In next lecture we will more talk about the software maintenance, So thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you so much.